All right, guys. So, as we have been working recently in our enrichment on Justice for Harambe, who is at fault, hyperdocs that you have been responding to, researching. Today is going to be our Socratic debate on who is at fault. Is it the zoo's fault that they did not provide enough support and protection for the child, or was it the mother's fault for that? This is what we're debating on today. You will get 5 minutes within your group to present back and forth and debate it. I do need the ones on the outside of the rooms to make sure that they are being active listeners, and that you are making notes in regards to something that you hear from somebody else that you either want to counter claim when you come up, or that you do support, that you want to say that you agree with what this person said when it's your rotation to come up. Anytime you hear an affirmation, as we've talked before, anytime if anybody gets really negative, I want you to make a note of it as active listening. Are there any questions? You do have your notes in front of you. Several of you have them electronically. You may use those. You may use your devices to cite your examples as well. So I am going to ask Lexi to start for us and be respectful. Like I said, we're going to have 5 minutes on this round, and then we'll go from there. Lexi, you may begin.
Okay, so
Speak loud.
I'm in favor of Harambe, and I feel like the zoo should be responsible for this incident because it was way too easy for the child to get inside the girl and sleep.
What I think is that zoos are dangerous, like that's gonna happen, and this was a freak accident that the 3-year-old was able to get in. It was 3 feet, that is the gate, that is a large gate, and it's not the zoo's fault for making it like that.
Okay, so before you continue, I have an image of the enclosure. The fence, to get into the enclosure,
Speak up.
is only about a foot, maybe 2 feet tall. It's easy just to slide through the wedges in between this, and it's just a fall. So it's not hard at all. You just have to climb through some bushes and go right over the fence. So there wasn't enough protection, and there wasn't.
Can you enlarge that?
I don't think.
So I see what you're saying, and I agree with you, but the thing is, they shot Harambe because he was a danger to, like an immediate danger to the child, and he was already injuring him. So they didn't want to risk the kid getting injured like more than he already had.
Why couldn't they have used tranquilizer drugs?
Because the tranquilizers would have taken too long, and they were unsure because he was really stressed out because everybody was yelling at him, so they didn't know if it would work, and they didn't want to take chances.
When they were going to shoot Harambe, how did you know?
Speak loud.
When they chose to shoot Harambe, how did you know if the person who was shooting Harambe had a good aim, or if somebody that was that liked the gorilla and saw them shoot it could have pointed it down and maybe it would have shot the child?
It was the whole pointing it down thing. That's sort of. I don't think that's likely because it was a flash second. Also, he was very trained. It was a conscious decision that it was a zookeeper who was trained to do this.
Henry, you have a point. You join the table.
Well, I was gonna add on to the tranquilizer. Even if they did tranquilize, it would take too long. But also, once it would have, Harambe would have drowned, or he could have fallen on the kid and drowned the kid too. But if he's gonna drown, then he's probably gonna die. But if you shot him, he's gonna die anyway. So there's not really. But he could have killed the kid too.
Yeah, so if he would have got shot, then he could have killed the kid also.
Yeah.
But it's shooting the ball backwards because shooting is not.
Okay, so according to abcnews.go.com, the whole incident from when the kid fell to when they shot Harambe took about 10 minutes. So maybe one tranquilizer dart would not work in time to save the kid if the kid, so maybe one, but if they shot it multiple times with multiple tranquilizers, maybe that would have taken effect soon enough, or it would have just stopped the griller there. And then the water doesn't, from the image that I have, doesn't look deep enough to drown anything.
But if
Speak up, guys.
But if they shot Harambe with a tranquilizer and he fell forward onto the kid would have been trapped under a 450-pound gorilla.
But there would have been, at a minimum, I'm guessing 2 to 3 police officers, zookeepers, anyone around there, because
So
someone had to have shot him. Someone had to have been there to take care of it.
police officers were called until like 5 minutes after the incident happened because nobody noticed. And the tranquilizers would not have worked because he was agitated, and if he fell, he could have hurt the child because the child already had a concussion because of the 50-foot drop.
Because he
15
was
foot.
15.
15?
Yeah.
It said 50.
It's not a 50.
It's a
It's
50.
But if you
One of the websites said 50.
if he
Both.
was
15 is still a big drop.
Be respectful.
If he was shot, why couldn't he fall on the kid?
if he was shot,
If he got shot, then why couldn't he fall on the kid?
because the
When you
force of
or
the
shoot.
shot, like if you're shot, you get pushed back.
And
No, but like you said, it's a 450-pound gorilla.
The kid
Yeah,
was
the
underneath the
gorilla's
gorilla.
not gonna-
how would you know that the
Less
tranquilizers
than
wouldn't
that.
make it fall backwards on his back? How do you know it would definitely fall over onto the kid?
Because it wouldn't kill him, it would make him sleep.
And if
Yeah, but
anything,
he could fall backwards. I
But
mean,
then-
there's no
but he could still
evidence
also
saying that.
fall
and
forward.
if
then.
Well, so this
drugs
is what
and
the website
tranquilizers,
said,
because
like,
those
yeah,
taken in the wild like truly come into effect,
I know, I'm
that
just-
would have enraged the gorilla and subsequently have caused him to possibly injure the kid more than he was
I
already
agree
injured.
with
The gorilla was using the kid to intimidate the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
it was.
wasn't necessarily
He
using
was,
it to.
yeah.
It was
He was
because
frightened.
Finish up. Lily, finish up your thought.
It was because everyone was screaming at him, so he was getting more agitated, and he was injuring the kid because he was so agitated and scared. Yeah, because he's down there and everybody's like screaming and yelling, and he has this little kid in his arms, and he's just dragging him along. So.
Yeah, and the kid was being a kid, and the gorilla was being a gorilla.
It's just a freak accident.
The gorilla was
Just the
using it.
parents' fault.
The zookeeper said that the gorilla was using it as, like gorillas in the wild use like big logs
Yeah.
and run them around to scare other people, and he probably just thought the child was like a rock.
Pause for a second. Keep your thoughts.